What's up, shiny cardboard collectors? It is the shiny cardboard collector, and we are back with another talking head video. I'm in Vancouver right now. I basically mistakenly thought I was gonna be flying out at 6 p.m. today, and it turned out that my flight was actually at 12 p.m. and I missed it because I thought it was at 6. So we're kind of in this state. I'm gonna be chilling here in Vancouver for another day. I'm just hanging out a bit. And I'll be flying back out to Calgary tomorrow. And this kind of made me think about like, wow, I've been actually flying to so many different places every single week. And I haven't really talked about the differences in what I see in Vancouver, what I see when I'm vending in Calgary, what I see when I'm vending in Edmonton, what I see when I'm vending in the States. And there's a lot of differences that I'm starting to notice the more I go out to these different places. Like whether or not some areas may be more into selling their cards to me at cheaper prices versus where some areas are very, very tight in terms of closer to market and they won't back down. And some areas where people are more cash heavy and they just want to blow it on specific types of cards. And so that's what I kind of want to go through today. I want to talk about the different markets that I've been seeing and the things that maybe vendors can note, or even people just searching for cards can note where to look for specific things. Yeah, let's go through that today. So starting in Calgary, that's where we vend. That's where we spend most of our time vending, our hometown right now. What I notice in Calgary is there is a lot of people who like to sell their cards. They will sell their cards and you'll usually be able to get pretty good deals in Calgary. People are pretty flexible with giving good deals. That said, it's even better in Edmonton. And what I realized is Edmonton and Calgary are both very credit heavy. And what I mean by that is I see a lot of people using credit cards. My credit sales are much bigger in Calgary and Edmonton versus, say, Vancouver or in the States. More people are cash heavy there. So it's kind of a different vibe, when you're working from more people in Calgary and Edmonton kind of maybe coming from a deficit. Therefore, it seems to follow up into the fact that more people are willing to sell their cards at a lower value to make up for that deficit. And that's kind of what I'm noticing in the Calgary, Alberta markets, is that it seems like there's less liquid cash available. And when there's less liquid cash available, it means that people are willing to sell their cards at a lower price. Not only that, but they have less ability to buy the bigger cards and they're not as willing to spend as much money on cards. So in Calgary and Edmonton, what I see at most of the shows is a lot of trading. A lot of people trading in their cards at specific percentages that vendors charge, and they'll add maybe some cash on top as well. You don't see many of those things trading credit sales in Vancouver, actually. I've been to Vancouver quite a lot of times now, and it's usually heavy cash buyers. They're able to pick up the big slabs. They know exactly what they want. It's more of a slab market in Vancouver. And what I'm starting to notice there too is that the difference in cards between Vancouver on the West Coast and Alberta is that I see a lot more Japanese, Chinese exclusive cards, things I don't really see in Calgary and Edmonton. So my strategy, at least for now, is to kind of pick up a lot of these cards in Vancouver, because I think it has to do with maybe the demographics, maybe because Japan and the Asian countries are a little bit closer to Vancouver and there's more tide there, whereas Calgary is more of an inner province, maybe just doesn't get over all the way over there. I just don't see it as much. With Calgary and Edmonton, I see lots of English. I mean, I do see a lot of Japanese cards, but it's mainly focused on people chasing modern English. It'd be some vintage as well. You don't see a lot of the more exclusive Japanese and the emerging Chinese markets come out as much in Alberta. So that being said, I've been heading over to the States much more often now. And just recently I was in Texas, and what I noticed there was actually kind of mind-blowing. I mean, I've been to the States. This is my third time. So I was in Texas recently. The one before that I was in Chicago, and then a few months before that I was in Montana. And what I've realized going down to the States is that the market is just extremely tight. You're not gonna find people really dumping their collections to you. I mean, it really also depends on the show too. The time when I was down there in Chicago, it was like a sports expo as well as Pokemon. So you would get the odd person that maybe had a Pokemon card collection from when they were a kid, maybe pretty beat up. They would dump it to you because they want to get into sports cards, yes. But I went to a Pokemon card convention in Texas, and everyone had the IQ of like a Pokemon master already. Everyone knew what their cards were worth. No one was willing to go down on their prices. They knew it like to heart exactly what they wanted. And it just made me realize that it's really hard to find deals in the States. It's really, really hard to get deals down there because the market is so tight. And talking to a lot of other vendors after the first day in Texas, everyone was saying, I need more inventory. I need more inventory. Everyone was getting bought out of all their slabs. Everyone needed to stock back up. I had some other vendors that I spoke to that needed to go to card stores in between the 2 days just to stock up on singles because they were just getting cleaned out. And it just made me realize there was like a big shortage of product over there. There was just so many people that wanted to buy Pokemon cards, and there just wasn't enough supply. And then that just made me think, like, it seems like there's so much supply in like Alberta, like in Calgary, Edmonton. When I go to the shows, there's just people throwing cards at you. Please buy my collection. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to move into something else. Maybe I'm trying to pay off some debt. Maybe I'm doing something else. But it's just a totally different shift. And it made me think that like maybe there's a strategy to this. Maybe there's a way to take advantage of all these different markets and to kind of navigate it in a way that could, if I travel every single week to different places, knowing exactly what to pick up before a show. So for instance, I'm in Vancouver right now. Next week, I'm going to Edmonton. I picked up a bunch of Japanese munch cards, exclusive things that I just don't see in Edmonton, and I know I can move. And I did that because like it just made sense to me, right? It just made sense. I don't see them there, and I think what could happen is maybe someone could be interested and they could trade some inventory into me and add some cash on top. And then I can take that inventory, maybe it be modern SIRs, maybe Sword and Shield alt arts, and I can sell that to the cash heavy areas, the States. I can sell it back to Vancouver. And even in Vancouver, it's hard to find deals as well. It kind of mimics the States a bit. I feel like because they're just so close together, Seattle and Vancouver, I feel like that market is very, very tight as well. I think as you get maybe further away into some areas that are like Calgary is a big city, Edmonton's a big city, but I would say it's still more of like a developing area versus some of the more established Toronto, Vancouver cities. So I just feel like when you go out into those areas, you get a lot of people coming in from, different areas because it's just so big, right? There's so much land. There's so many people coming from other areas, and they're just more lenient with their collections. What I realized. Whereas like Vancouver, Toronto, the markets are super tight. The States are super tight. And it just makes me think that, wow, like I have such a crazy opportunity, and people can have such a crazy opportunity to go to Calgary, to go to Edmonton, to pick up these collections from these people and to go sell it in different areas. And it's just me brainstorming right now. You know, I'm talking to a lot of vendors. I'm talking to a lot of other people. The main consensus, it seems like, is just buy in Canada, sell in the States, and then rinse and repeat. Buy in Canada, sell in the States. Like you will always get like market value in the States, if not a little bit below. Like it's just so competitive in terms of the demand is so strong over there for everything. Like for everything at all points in time, the card demand is so strong. Yeah, I just a little bit of a ramble. I just kind of wanted to go over it. I kind of wanted to put it down and just kind of speak some words and just like so I can understand it myself better and figure out how I can navigate this. Who knows how long this is going to last for, but it was an issue for me. Like I went down to the States in Texas, planning to sell cards, planning to buy some things. Like I brought some cash with me, and I actually had an issue where I was bringing too much cash back. Like it was over the limit. I had to actually buy some more cards from other vendors just so I could keep my cash low, because I was worried that the customs was gonna, I was gonna be over, and that would be no good. Yeah, so like it's a good issue to have, of course, and it's just something that I need to take into consideration more when I go down to the States, and something I need to take into consideration more now when I'm in Calgary, when I'm in Edmonton, when I'm looking at these collections, to understand that I don't need to sell it back to Calgary and Edmonton, these collections I'm picking up. I can go to different places and sell those cards off, and they'll move. It'll make sense. And I can go to different places like Vancouver to pick up more Japanese, Chinese exclusive cards, to bring them back to Calgary, have people trade in their cards plus cash into those, and then take those cards down to the States and sell those out. And just to constantly kind of repeat the cycle of just being like a traveling, like a vagabond, I guess, that sells and buys things. Like a guy that has like a big ass backpack. I think back in the day they like had the donkey wheeling the wheelbarrow, and I just have all my cards and I'm just like rolling with it, I guess. I don't know. It's just it works right now for me, and it's been amazing, just all the people that I'm meeting along the way too. It feels like being a vendor, you need to travel. It feels like you need to get around. You can't just go to the same show in the same area and just like, it doesn't work. You need to go out to different areas. It's kind of like, I think Pokemon Go. Like Pokemon Go, I believe, I've never really played the game, but I know that in different areas you catch different Pokemon. So you go to different areas around the country to catch different types of Pokemon, and then you can go trade with people who don't go to those areas. It's the same idea. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of working. We're going to see how far it goes. I'll update on kind of more things that I find about this. But yeah, just a little ramble, a little talking head video here for you guys. Just about my thoughts about kind of what vending is like traveling to different places. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you got all the way to the end, you might be a little bit crazy because I don't even know what I'm talking about, to be honest. But I thank you very, very much. Have a fantastic day. I hope your Pokemon card collecting journey is going amazing. I think we got some really crazy sets coming out. I'm super excited for them. And help me, because I'm about to ape into some Chinese exclusive cards, and I don't know if that's a good idea. Let me know in the comments. Have you guys aped into any Chinese exclusive cards? I'm thinking about it. I just aped into one yesterday at the Vancouver show. Yeah, I don't know. They're sick. I feel like they're good, and the price point seems reasonable. Give me your thoughts on that. All right, see you guys.